The 2011-2012 legislative session has been so far one of many accomplishments, not the least of which is an on-time state budget. Let's learn more about those accomplishments by spending 5 minutes with State Representative Marty Causer of the 67th District in Cameron, McKean, and Potter counties. Welcome.
Thank you.
I start off with the budget, so let's start with that. Talk about the significance of this particular state budget this year.
Well, the significance is this is the first time in many, many years that we've actually passed an on-time, fiscally responsible budget, and that's what we've been pushing for all along. State government has been overspending for years with the federal stimulus dollars going away. You know, it created a $4 billion deficit that we've had to deal with. But we've actually closed that deficit. We've reduced spending by over $1 billion, and at the same time we're funding essential services. So I think it is a very reasonable and responsible budget plan, and I'm glad that we were able to pass it on time.
We talked about the historical significance of passing an on-time budget, but how long has it been since a budget has spent less than the previous year's budget?
Well, only 3 times in the last 40 years have we had a general fund budget that actually spent less than the previous year. So it's pretty unprecedented to actually spend less than the previous year.
Real quickly, how do you feel your side, the House Republicans, have made a better budget out of Governor Corbett's original proposal from March?
Well, working together with the Senate and the governor's office, you know, we negotiated a final plan that is significantly different than what Governor Corbett presented back in March, in that it significantly reduces spending in the welfare department and shifts that funding over to public education. And I think that that's something that's very important. The governor presented us a plan that cut spending, and I applaud him for that, but we took a look at each individual line item and determined that we needed to reshuffle some of those dollars, and that's exactly what we did.
I want to quickly hit 2 other topics before we close, and the first one, of course, is a big one to your district. That's the Marcellus Shale, the gas industry. Some people wanted to tie a severance tax or impact fee to the budget this year. Talk about what's going on with that.
Well, certainly I don't think it should be tied to the budget. It's an important issue, and it's one that we definitely have to deal with. I have a significant amount of drilling going on in my area, a significant amount of economic opportunity for my area, and I've said that I will consider an impact fee, but the key is it has to come back to the local impacts, and that's what we have to push for, and that's what we need. And there's many people in Harrisburg that want the money and want to send it to areas that have no impacts. So the impact fee has to go back to local impacts, and that's a top priority for me before I would consider voting on an impact fee.
I want to talk about another big accomplishment to your constituents in your district, and that is kind of enhancements to their ability to defend themselves in their homes. It's something called the Castle Doctrine. Talk about that.
Well, this was a very important piece of legislation that I was glad to join very glad to join with Governor Corbett this week at the official bill signing. We've been working on getting the Castle Doctrine enacted in Pennsylvania because it's a very important self-protection piece of legislation, and the Governor Rendell had vetoed, and I'm glad that now we've got that signed into law, and you know, it's something that we've been working on for quite some time.
And it does allow people it gives them some type of a protection. A lot of, as I understand it, people who defend themselves also leave themselves open for even civil lawsuits against them because they took that action.
It's a very, very important self-protection measure, and the biggest part of it is that it repeals the duty to retreat. People should not have to retreat before defending themselves, and I think that was the most important part of the Castle Doctrine. If someone's threatening your life or your property, you have a right to defend yourself, and you should not have to retreat.
Representative Causer, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
If you have any questions for Representative Causer, you can contact him through his district office or through his website. That information will be on your screen in a moment. Thanks for spending 5 minutes with State Representative Marty Causer.